I loved the trippy quality of the song, and it had this lightness and a brightness that was mirrored in the element of the sun permeating a lot of the shots, and that presence of light that was always trying to seep in, but there was always that shadow that also balanced it out. And it was kind of cool to see the constantly trying to dive into the spotlight, but also to sneak away from the light and playing that kind of cat and mouse game of being watched, but also observing oneself. Really great use of the environment, great pacing, and I thought some really inventive framing to keep us wondering who is being watched and who is the watcher. And those moments of stepping into our light and those moments where we need to kind of take time to hide away and reflect and maybe not reflect on ourselves.
I thought that the mystical elements of the song, like the chimes and the sparkling effects that were happening within the music, I thought it went really well with the choreography and the cinematography. Choreography wise, I really liked the contemporary feel to it with like probably a couple elements of modern. I think it worked very well with the music. I loved how cinematography wise and editing wise, like how the cuts went with the music. I loved how the shots where there are two versions of the dancers. I thought that was very visually appealing to watch. Was it the scenery goes with the vibe as well? I thought that was really, really cool. And I think having the dancer in both the forest and in the water, and then like a couple of those shots, like in whatever building that was, I think having that juxtaposition with the changes in the music was really cool. And overall, I also thought the dancer did a really great job. Um, so going back to like when the vibes changed, I think the song turning into like a rock feel was really cool. And I kind of liked how the scenery changed at those different moments and how the choreo changed with it as well. I thought it was really great. I thought the dancer, he did a great job. You know, when it was more intense, his movements were more intense. When it was supposed to be a lot softer, he was a lot softer.
The idea of duality is played so interestingly in this piece. I also really enjoyed how so many of the shots are set up with such a precise symmetry to them and an emphasis on that. Another theme that seems to be at play here very much is self reflection, you know, the internalized being externalized in such a stunningly visual manner. And there's such a specific touch of culture as well into this piece with the music and choreography that is utilized.
The struggle to put one foot in front of the other. You really see this dancer lift his leg and push it forward. And it really showcases, I think, the depictions of mental health here. We get moments where he is grounded in nature and moving his body, but then there are moments of reflection where we're embraced in a sea of darkness, and we see our dancer in a sense having these moments of reflection of those happier times in those happier moments. The cinematography is absolutely incredible, and we get to have this moment of like, where even in these moments the room flashes red, and they have these moments where it's like a pit of rage almost, where you even listen and hear the screams in that moment, as they're having this journey of reflection. And so I think they did a really good job to grab these cinematically beautiful like snippets as the mind is racing, and in a moment of even looking and staring and watching the life flash before their eyes.
Cool music and vibe. Just like I really liked the location and the use of black and white and color. And the sound, I noticed at one point it was kind of muffled and it felt like he was in some kind of anguish throughout. I liked how you had the chair in the water and he was looking at himself. And the projected images as well. It had a nice variety of different images and things to carry us through. And it just made me wonder what this was about. I liked his movements, his performance. I don't know if he was trying to find himself or come to terms with something in life.
A lot of great movement, of course, but just also really interesting settings for those movements as we move from one to the other. Yeah, just really interesting setups. You know, the sitting on the stool in the water, the staircase scenes, the silhouette or shadow dancing against that projection. That those things were all just really interesting, strong choices that gave the entire picture a really dynamic quality. So you know, we weren't just stuck in one or two spots. And while some of the spots seemed pretty simple, they were used to great effect and made the piece really stand out.
I really enjoyed the performance of the central character, so much yearning and reaching. A very flexible, talented dancer. Lots of clever staging shots and editing, moving from a beach to a balcony to a forest setting in short order. The mystical soundtrack with sweet vocals really worked too. I found the title You Can't Do a Thing fits well with the film, where the central character seems to be constantly watching and self-judging.